Alright, so when we were down south, we did several videos on pantry, and we talked about how in our life how much we believe in a pantry, and not for the purpose of the fallout, of society, but for the purpose of just life. This is just life, and things happen, and what I'll do is I'll link these videos that I'm speaking about at the end of this one, because that's not what this video is about. And I did mention that, we've had 7 to 10 years worth of certain food items in our pantry at one time. And I've also mentioned the fact that we've had no pantry because we've used the pantry when things have happened. A perfect example is Ron's back right now. It's a devastating thing. And so pantry is just wisdom. Now, one thing I said is we would just consider the fact of, as we rebuild our pantry, that we would share in the video how we do it. Now, our diet is different than many. Many of you share the same conviction of organics. GMOs are man's blight to society and causes numerous health issues. Proven fact, despite the articles that come out that are funded by the GMO companies. So we have been highly convicted on a organic, mainly, diet with some occasional non-GMO products. We have started restocking. The other thing that I wanted to touch base on, in our location, I know you wouldn't know it by all the traffic that you hear, but we're technically in a remote location. In fact, our cabin is considered remote by our county. We can't get electricity to it without an extreme expense. You can't drive up to it, you've got to walk to it. And up in our area, the population is really sparse in our area. Always has been, ever since the mining industry went under. Because this was a booming area at one time, but it's been decades since that time. So when we moved up here over 3 years ago, we learned, first off, that the organic stores were limited. In fact, there was not one dedicated organic store that we knew of at the time. And so we were dependent upon the local bigger chain stores, and of course the enormous Walmart chain store. It's the only one up here that type of size at this point. And they didn't carry at that time, especially at that time 3.5 years ago, Walmart carried very little to nothing organic. They are getting much, much better. So we learned that we had to either go without, grow it ourselves, which some of the stuff we did, and that was fine, or find it elsewhere, source it elsewhere on the internet. And we also, we've talked about how our business kind of took a nosedive when we moved, shortly after we moved up here. So we weren't able to bulk up our pantry. It was kind of a lot of people do this, shop daily or every other day or a couple times a week, and that drives us crazy, but that's how we had to do it. So we ordered what we could, when we could, and it wasn't always possible. And the other times we went to the store. We later found out last year that there is a nice little co-op that is really organic up near us. The prices are high compared to Walmart. Organic food is. I mean, if I told you that our coffee is organic and we spend $15 for 2 pounds, most people would flip out. But it's a health protocol. I mean, that's like an investment in insurance. It's not guaranteeing you don't get sick, but it definitely doesn't aid in producing a negative outcome. So, take it for what it's worth. But that's our story, and that's where we're at. Now, when we were down south and we did those videos, Ron and I talked about the interesting fact of how few people never leave their home or their property, that they're always going, and most people don't even realize they're addicted to leaving, getting out, going to the store. You impulse buy when you go to the store all the time. And we thought that a neat video series would be to show how long you could stay settled down in one location and still have what you need simply by buying online. One thing we've learned is that it's not any more expensive to purchase online for delivery than it is to drive. We have to drive a half hour from our location to get to the stores. And you save time. And lots of times if you buy enough, you get the shipping for free. For example, we buy from Vitacost. If I spend $49, I get free shipping. So, and the prices are no more expensive for me for what we purchase. I know they would be for many, going to Walmart and buying, buying the cheaper brands, but again, because we eat organic, we expect to pay more. So as long as they're within line for what's available to us, then that's what we do. And that's what we've been doing. And we're doing it more and more, especially since we've been back and we've had so much work and nobody's been able to go to the store. And wouldn't you know, God is so good. We're conditioning ourselves now to do that. And all of a sudden, Ron hurts his back again. And it means there's less time to go to the store. And with our work that had picked up, we've been bulking up our pantry. Now, we don't have a lot. And we don't have meats because we don't have a freezer for more than about a week. But I've got enough on my pantry shelf now that it would last us a month if we just had to buy meats and our butter. I don't have to buy milk and I don't have to buy eggs. And Ron and I actually, and I'm not sure it's out of plans. I just know that he's not going to be able to do it, and the older boys' plate is extra full. But we were going to start raising rabbits again, and some turkeys and some different poultry, whether it was meat birds. And he was really wanting to start to experiment with quail. That's something he's been wanting to do. So if we just did the small product like that, we could really hunker down. Do you know that you can even buy dog food online? We buy a specific brand of dog food. We have 5 dogs, okay? So we can't buy a super expensive dog food, but I do not like to buy cheap dog food. First off, we've had a dog die from cheap dog food because it ruined its liver. They don't do well on certain dog food, so we found one that's middle of the road. We get it at TSC, and I found it online while I was down south because RJ, he was busy, he couldn't get to the store, and he says, Mom, I'm about out of dog food, what do I do? And I said, well, let me see if I can find it online before you worry about making a trip into town to get dog food. And sure enough, I not only found it online, I found that if I bought 2 bags of it, I got free shipping. Now you're talking a 40-pound bag, so 80 pounds of dog food, and it was still free shipping. My point is, there are ways to get around this, where you can, if you're bound at home because maybe your vehicle's down, maybe you physically can't get out, maybe you just don't want to leave your property. That was one of the things we wanted to do, was to see how long, we thought it would be interesting, how long we could stay on our property and not leave it for the expense of going grocery shopping. I'm not saying not go do things, that's family oriented, or I'm not saying, we have to go get water. We don't have a water source on our property except for our creek, and we have access to a communal artesian well. So we go up there and we get 12 5-gallon or 12 6-gallon containers of water, and we do it quite often. The other thing is we have post office that we have to take our postage or our orders to for our shop. So those things they're a must for us. They have to be done. But if we are able to get ahead with our postage, we can have the mail delivery pick it up. I just thought it'd be a fun experiment to try and to see, make people think about how often they're leaving their home unnecessarily, how much they spend compulsively, and if the situation came where they just couldn't leave for whatever reason, could they do it? So we have started, and you guys have heard me talk about a place down in Lower Michigan called Country Life Food, and they do deliver they have a schedule where they deliver. You have to order, I can't remember, it's $400 or $500 minimum. They do it in several states and in the Midwest at least. and they've expanded their states. I think they're up to like a dozen states maybe by now. Now up in our area, because we're more remote, they only deliver up this far every other month. We can set it up with them to where we meet them. We can travel to an area that they, if we need it sooner, they can meet us somewhere where they're traveling monthly. So most areas they do monthly. But for some reason, praise God, last week when I placed the order, I said, you know what, let's not bother about driving to Wisconsin, because that's where we'd have to go almost. Let's just wait. We'll wait it out, and because the next shipment's not till the end of October. I'm so glad I did, because Ron hurt his back. He can't even drive down the road hardly, let alone the thought of driving a couple hours from now. So it was a good call. They deliver for free in that circumstance. If you get on their delivery schedule, they deliver for free. Now, you've also heard me talk about when you need something from them and you're totally offside of their delivery schedule, right? Like for us, I needed sugar and I needed popcorn. Popcorn's a staple for us, for a snack food. And I can't get sugar up here at that price, even with shipping. If I buy a 55-pound bag of sugar from them, it costs me $70 for the sugar and for the shipping. I cannot go into the store and get sugar, 50 pounds of sugar for that price. And so even if I bought like 10 pounds, I'm still paying an astronomical amount. So it was worth it to me to buy popcorn and sugar while I'm waiting for that delivery, instead of going to the store and getting it. Now, on the other hand, the flour that I get from them is superior and I love it. But I can get a decent flour up here for a decent price that makes just, I got 40 pounds of flour from the store. It saved me the delivery fee from this company, and it will tide me over until I get the bulk order from them in October. So I thought it would be a really neat thing to do. I wanted to take you guys on this journey with us. We talked that we would share with you how we're stocking our pantry. The one downside to buying online is you have to be aware of what's going on. You can't just say one morning, oh, you know what, I'm out of this and I need it tonight. You have to allow yourself a couple days leeway. But most places will ship within 2 days. You have it at your door within 2 days. The dog food, if I order Monday, I have it Wednesday. Now, if I order Friday, that's it, and that's what I'm talking about. Like Thursday night, let's say I'm out of dog food and I see I need it. If I order Friday, I have to wait through the weekend into Monday to get it, which means that's not going to work. So then I need to go to the store and get it. But if you have your ducks in a row, one thing you're not going to see on this video, because I'm going to share with you some of the things that we've recently purchased. But last week we had several deliveries. We usually buy our toilet paper. From Sam's Club. We buy it in bulk and in the big box, and of course Sam's Club you buy most things in bulk. We buy our tape we use from the shop for shipping from Sam's Club, and some other odds and ends. So you have the expense of the membership. And if you buy the upgraded membership, all shipping is free, regardless of what you purchase. So, honestly, in my experience, you do not pay any more for the convenience of having it delivered to you. And I cannot, I'm big about supporting local, but I'm also realistic that when you're trying to watch your pennies, when you're on a budget, you cannot always support local, because so often local means more expensive. I do try to watch for sales in our local co-op, but if I can get it online and save quite a bit of money, not have to use my gas or my time, which is precious right now, it is definitely worth it. And I save money because I don't impulse buy. I save money because I don't go to the store hungry. It's just, for us, it's a win-win. And I know in big cities, a lot of people are already doing it, but I don't think most people realize in little communities or rural areas that you can do this and it can be affordable. So now I want to share with you some of the things we've purchased. We've purchased a lot online, and only twice have I been disappointed in something's arrived to me broken. And the thing is I contacted, this just happened the other day. I got a broken thing of honey. I ordered 6 jars of honey and one of them came shattered. I contacted them. They asked no questions. They simply said, not a problem, we'll ship it out to you. I didn't have to pay gas to go return the item. I didn't have to have the frustration of waiting in line at the courtesy desk, waiting for them to take the item back. I just sat there, drank my tea, while I typed on the computer a live chat and said I got this product and it was broken. No problem, we'll ship it to you. So I just, you know, there's ways to get around overspending. There's ways to get around of using up time. My kids, my younger two, they hate to go to the store. I mean, they really hate it. And so, you know, I can go shopping at night after they go to bed, do it real quick while they're outside playing. If they're working on their schoolwork, I can do it, and it's done. And they don't have to be dragged along to go through that process. I do have ordered from Vitacost since we've been up here, and I order 2 things primarily. I have put an order in for some other stuff because since we've started this, but I usually get our shortening through them. It's less than $6 a container, and if I go to the store, it's almost $8 to $10 depending on the store. I get our organic honey from there. I can get it up here. It's usually $1 or 2 more jars, so it's, you know, if I order enough through there, $50, I don't have to pay shipping for this, and then I save $1 or 2 a jar on that. Sam's Club, I get our packing tape, our pens and papers. And so here is how our coffee comes. It comes in, we have to buy it 4 pounds at a time. To get, or 4 bags at a time to get the deal, and I have to actually buy 2 or 8 of them to get the free shipping too, and then that gives me also the 8th bag for free. Great coffee, worth the price. This box came from Pullman where I do the bulk orders, and this is how they always ship. They ship in nice boxes when they're shipping the stuff you're paying UPS to deliver. Again, in case I've confused anybody, there's 2 ways to do Pullman. You can do big orders and get on their shipping schedule and get it shipped to your door directly with a minimum purchase. Or if you need to supplement, they will ship the stuff, but you end up paying about $20 for every 50 pounds that you have them shipped through UPS. So that's the organic cane sugar. Now this is a company we've never bought from before, Thrive Market, not to be confused with Thrive Life. I know a lot of people like Thrive Life. This is one of those things, first time we've ever bought, and we bought from them because they had a deal on pumpkin, or had a deal where you knew purchaser, they gave you a certain % off, but I couldn't get pumpkin from Walmart, organic pumpkin. That was crazy. So I ordered a couple of other things that we used and took advantage of the sale price. My other box under there is popcorn. Oftentimes when I go to the store, they are out of a lot of things that we use. And it's frustrating because then you have to go from one store to another to try to find it. And even then, you know, that other store might be out. They can be out of just about almost anything. And we've had them not even have flour before. We've had them not have the sugar we use. We've had them not have the honey we use. We've had them not have the coffee we use. It's like, I hate being that dependent upon one location. And then, you know, it's a gamble. You're going to drive all the way in, which is half hour from us, and spend your time, spend your gas, and still not get what you've set out to get. All right, well, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have some tricks that you use to save time, save money, to get high quality food that you're not growing on your own, of course, that's always best. Not always possible, as we've talked about in previous videos. Leave a comment below. Let us know. As usual, please like this video, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and if you have, go ahead and make sure that YouTube has not unsubscribed you. click the bell for notification when we've uploaded a new video. All right, we'll talk soon. God bless.